Alright guys, welcome back. Survival Living here. So we're fixing to go on a field trip. We are actually going to be checking out some of the substations around my area. And I want to show you guys just how vulnerable our electric grid is. You need to be preparing as much as possible because it does not take much at all. So anyway guys, stick with me. The wind's really bad. We got a bad storm coming, so hopefully audio does very well out there. So let's get to it. Alright guys, welcome back. Survival Living here. Hopefully audio is picking up. It is a monsoon out here. The wind is crazy. One of the things I want to point out to you guys is because right back there, that's a substation. All right, I got ran off earlier because you can actually get reeled up for trespassing if you're there, you know, trying to film. So went off property, so I can actually film across the way. Now with substations, guys, I'm going to try to zoom in as much as possible for you. There is no security. What happened was when I was there with the truck, had the cameras going, and people driving by, they didn't like that. So I was asked to leave. Not a problem. There is no actual security on these things. Now there is. All right guys, welcome back. Survival Living here. I do apologize if the noise is too much on this film. It is windy as can be down here in Panama City, Florida. Yeah. We got a storm coming. One of the things I want to cover today is our power grid. Now guys, I have talked about substations out there in the background. I should be able to zoom in for you guys. I was actually out there earlier trying to get some footage and do everything there, but somebody called the law enforcement officers and they politely asked me to leave before getting a trespass ticket. Yeah, good times. So since I don't want a trespass ticket, I decided to film off location, but I can still see everything. Guys, with that there is no security. The reason why a Popo came rolling up on me is because somebody actually was driving by. As you guys can see, there's cars driving by that street. It's just in the middle of town, and yeah, they just didn't like me with camera and all that other stuff around the substation, which is good. It is, but I was just trying to do a story. The only security there, they do have cameras. They film, but nothing ever is reviewed unless something happened. They got fence line. That's it. Nothing major there on that fence line at all. And everything there is accessible from long range or even freaking drive-by, to be honest. Let me try to hold the camera. The wind is so bad, I got the camera on the tripod and it's bouncing around like crazy. Yeah, so you can actually sit up in the distance and take that sucker out, and there goes the whole power grid in this area. Yeah, that right there, it's a good sized station. It wouldn't take much, an AR-10 in the distance. One of the things I want to point out to you is that the train tracks run right next to it. Sure do. As a matter of fact, let me bring the camera around here, guys, and show you just how crazy this is. So like I said, the train tracks are right there, and they swing all the way around the backside. And you can sit right back there in the bush with a clear line of sight directly to the substations. So there's the telltale signs. Shopping carts. Fence line broken down. Yeah, I was homeless for once, guys. I know where to look for. Fence line corner, fence line step down, and we got trail going right to the train tracks. So let's continue. And here we are. So let's swing back over here, and yes, we've got the substation. So guys, as you can see, substations there's nothing but tracks. I mean, we got tracks here. I'm gonna swing you around. There's nothing but tracks that way. There are houses on the other side of the woods and stuff like that, but yeah, desolate, easy access, straight shot. And like I said, on the backside, there's just nothing. Nice and quiet. Easy access back here. Tuck your vehicle somewhere else. See, our grid is not secure. All it takes is some jackleg decide that they want to take something out. That's why I'm such a big push on alternative power. Solar generators, gasoline generators have a way of providing power for you and your family when the grid goes down, because that there is not safe. We've already discussed the people crossing into this country. They're saying that they are connected to groups that want to cause harm to this country. That power grid is not safe. That's just one of 3 in my local area. When I say local area, within a 10-mile radius that I know of, that just has fences. That's it. They got some cameras up. That's it. This is a busy road right here, so me walking on there with a camera and stuff, yeah, I got called on. But slipping up here at night, broad daylight, I parked in the cemetery, went down the fence line looking for the hole that was there, and here I am. So there you have it. Yeah, I don't know how well the audio turned out, guys. We'll find out when we do review on the footage here. Yeah, it's open. I know of 3 locations, like I said, within a 10-mile radius of where I'm at, and all of them's open. There's a fence, there's a camera. That's it. Now, I did have issues trying to film today. That's because where I was at, the location I was at, was a very busy street. Here I am walking around with freaking camera gear, tripods, looking shady. Yeah, so unfortunately, I got called in on, and they checked me out. Now, technically, I did have to give them my name because technically it wasn't supposed to be on the property, and I was. So they could have been complete jerks about it, but they weren't. I told them who I was, told them what I was doing. We actually do have some viewers that are in our local police force. Turns out it wasn't one of them. But explained to him what I was doing. I was actually doing a video on how susceptible our power grid is to danger. We need to be preparing as much as possible. And he was fine. He said, just take it off property. Well, there was an abandoned warehouse across the street, but then I identified the graveyard also. And I knew I could get footage there. It's a public graveyard, so no big deal at all. So I decided to film there instead. Guys, you need to make sure that you are putting supplies back. Now, I know the big thing I see on the internet, especially here on my channel from commenters, is people live without powers for hundreds of years. We can adapt. People were set up for no power for hundreds of years. Our food that comes to us relies on power. Our water that is delivered to us is provided by power. Our fuel, our medicine, our comforts of our home. Our homes today are not designed like they were many years ago to allow cross breeze to cool down the house. Now that it's put together, if you don't have central air, you're in a hot box. That's the way it is. So the closed-mindedness of this is ridiculous. Now, can people survive without power? Yes, it is going to be extremely hard. It's going to be hard. Don't BS yourself. I see it all the time on my channel, the comments. I'm prepared. I'm ready for SHTF. I wish it would kick off now. I don't. I am prepared out the ass. I've got so much stuff stocked. I've got so much training. Yeah, I hold a good 50% chance that I'll make it. It just depends on the scenario. I don't want people dropping dead because they have no power. Some people rely on power for medical equipment. They have to stay alive with it. They have to have their monthly medication. And some of this medication that is being produced, they cannot stock up on. It is by month. And they can't miss a dose, or it messes up their hearts or whatever type of vital organ in their body. So they can't miss it. They are reliant on the system. So when the system collapses, they're screwed. So no, I don't want SHTF to ever happen. If anything, I want to have all my stockpiles of stuff that looks really, really cool, great stuff to have, get to go camping, have food on hand if I ever get hurt, or hey man, you know what, I want Spam tonight. I'd like to have it. I don't want to have to use this stuff in a life and death situation. But that's just me. Anyway, guys, because of this power grid, you need to be putting back as much alternative power as possible. Again, like I've said, solar generators, they're great. They're limited. Building your own solar grid, panels, battery banks, all that stuff is extremely great to have, all right? You can constantly build on it. We can't use ours on a daily basis here where we live at now because we live in the city, we live in town. But when disaster strikes, mine's ready to be deployed. So I do have power. Gasoline generators are great. They are tried and true, but you can only store so much fuel and they are extremely loud. Same thing with propane generators, tri-gas. They're loud, all right? Now you can store a lot more propane than you can gasoline safely. But that's up to you on what you want, all right? As far as the comments I read about geothermal generators, and you know what? If you have a location set up for that and you have the equipment set up for that, that is awesome on you. I do not have that. That is not feasible in my area at all. Nor do I have the knowledge to keep a geothermal generator, what the hell ever, operational. Never done one. All right, so just having a part, you better be able to fix it and repair it. Solar generators, I know a lot about electrical, all right? I keep a lot of electrical components in Faraday cages, so if I have to, I can test out and replace things. The grid, our solar grid, replaceable parts. We protect it with EMP Shield on a lot of our equipment, but we have spare backups, things that I can swap out, things that are in Faraday cages. Gasoline generator, I keep everything mechanical on that. I can rebuild that several times over. I can get what piece I need, because when I bought mine from Harbor Freight, I think it was. So what, a 4,000 watt generator, Predator series. They give you a booklet with all the paperwork, all the gears, everything that you need to rebuild this thing. Every piece has a part number and you can order every single one of them. There's an idea. Now you have all your parts, because I have seen where if your vehicle breaks down during shit hits the fan, you're going to need parts to fix it. You're absolutely correct. But trying to store all the parts you need to rebuild a vehicle, you better have a warehouse or a scrap car. And that's, there you go. There's many things you got to look at. Alternative power is one of them. Alternative power runs our electric. It fuels our society. Anyway, guys, y'all be safe out there. Keep prepping. Time's getting short. Speak to y'all later.